Hey guys, our post got liked by Pewdiepie. Very epic. We're going to watch that first, and then we're going to watch the rest of the video, which I shot before I knew any of that had happened. So yeah, bit weird, but here we go. When I joined Jake Paul's course,
they say we're entitled and lazy.
I thought it would be trash, but I also thought a lot of people would have joined. Boy, was I wrong. I was the only one in the entire site. Nobody was watching his videos, nobody was participating in the community tab unless it was to ask how they could cancel their subscription. I was disappointed in my fellow Jake Paulers, but more than anything, I think I just wanted a friend. So with nothing else to lose, I sent out a final SOS as something of a mating ritual for my fellow Jake Paulers to see if anyone's left out there. 24 hours, nobody responded. Finally, at long last.
Jake Paulers, if you're tired of all the hate for Jake Paul, like this post. Smash like, I'll be the first one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Very epic Pewdiepie. Now on with the video.
So I was originally gonna make a video on Jake Paul, and I even had a login. I had gotten an account to his new financial freedom movement scam, but then everyone called it out for what it is. And so I was thinking, okay, no, I'm not gonna, tread over stuff that people have already talked about. That was until I logged in yesterday and found a porn star on the front page of Jake Paul's community tab. Yes, this is 14 hours. This post has been up. I'm gonna go ahead and blur it for you guys because I don't want to get demonetized, but rest assured, this is here in all its glory for everybody who wants to log in. Your kiddies wanna log in, your kiddos, your little tots wanna log into Jake Paul's new course. Well, this is what greets them. Yes. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, hey, it's a community. I mean, Jake Paul has no control over that, which is kind of true. But if you're gonna make a community which, people can post whatever they want, but you also know that a bunch of kids are gonna be on there, you have to moderate it. And they have a report feature, which is like, report this as like, I guess, inappropriate or whatever. But apparently no one's actively moderating it to make sure. I mean, who knows what this could be? Because the fact they didn't take it down means they're not watching at all, because anyone would take this down as soon as they saw it. So this could be, straight up hardcore porn. It could be anything, right? Now, I don't know how many people signed up for the financial freedom movement, but what I do know is that Jake Paul has actively targeted kids with this community. He has something in his sales letter where it's called the letter to parents, okay? If you are already paying for Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, then this is a no-brainer. Those things aren't helping your child with their future, are they? Whereas for only $19.99 a month, your child has access to world-renowned experts who have taught and impacted over 1 million students around the globe. Now, maybe Jake Paul is keeping his promise when he says your child has access to world-renowned experts who have impacted over 1 million students around the globe. But I don't think maybe he means that in the way he thinks he does. I think he's keeping his promise in a whole nother way entirely when you look at the front page of this community tab. And this leads us into a larger conversation around Jake Paul. This guy is a branding disaster because after seeing this, I was like, I wonder what other ridiculous thing Jake Paul has done. And I saw immediately on February 10th, he posts a picture of a dildo on the front of his car on Twitter to his 3.7 million followers, most of which are kids. To which I responded, and I said, oh yeah, that's a kids channel, and I linked one of my friends, Nerd City. And this guy, Mel, put forward an interesting argument. He said he stopped being PG for like a year now, get over it. Which raises an interesting question. Could it be that Jake Paul merely has a residual young audience, but does not want said young audience and is reinventing himself with some, I guess, adult figure or something like that, someone with more edgy content. So this is acceptable because he reinvented himself or whatever. Now, one thing is true. Jake Paul is definitely aware that he has a kid audience.
You've never performed in front of a crowd older than 16. I don't get why this is a bad thing. I have a younger audience.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen, he knows exactly who his audience is.
I have a younger audience.
He's like, yeah, that's my audience, I get it. However, then you have him posting videos like this. My ex-wife hooked up with my girlfriend. Where in the first 29 seconds, you have a nip slip, which did not go unnoticed by Jake Paul's audience. 28, that nipple flash though. And again, I'm censoring it. Jake Paul didn't, which, whatever. I mean, kid audience, right? Kid audience. And then he's got a girl joking about, well, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it because I'm not trying to get this video more demonetized than it already is.
Line up and suck his dick now!
And only at this point does Jake Paul decide, oh, maybe this is a good time to tell my young, impressionable audience that this video maybe shouldn't be watched by them. So this is what, 1:22 into his video?
I want sex right now!
Kids, if you're watching, go over to Ryan's toy review. This is rated R.
Now, this is kind of incredible for multiple reasons. Number one, you can manually rate your content R-rated, and you can say this is not appropriate for kids and age gate the video for people older than 18. Did Jake Paul do this? Because we would be able to see it if he did. It would say age restricted. No, he didn't. Which means he's fine with kids watching. He only wants to give the plausible deniability of like, oh, I said it. But you said it after a nip slip, pantomiming, you know, that's when you said it, right? And at this point, maybe our friend's comment, it comes into play again. Maybe he just doesn't want that audience and is trying to reinvent himself. But that's also not true. See, Jake Paul, he likes the fact he has a kid audience because he knows they buy stuff, right? That's why he has the financial freedom movement. That's where he's selling to kids. He likes the fact that they buy all his merch, but he also wants to be seen as cool and interesting and edgy. So he also makes really adult content. But we know he hasn't given up on his young audience because not only does he sell to them actively, even though he doesn't put parental controls anywhere in place, he also actively targets them with content. This is a video made on December 28th on his channel Jake and Titus, where he collaborates with a kid. And this is called Jake Paul vs. Titus Gingerbread House Challenge. Now, I won't bore you with this whole video, but let's just say there's a demographic clearly being targeted here. And it's not adults, it's not for edgy teens, it's for kids. This is kids content. So he clearly continues to target a young demographic because presumably they make great consumers, right? He's writing letters to their parents saying, hey, get your kid in my course, get this, go watch my YouTube channel, go do this, go do that. And yet at the same time, he's making adult content that is wildly inappropriate for your children, which makes him a nightmare because you don't know which Jake Paul it's gonna be that day. Is it gonna be the Jake Paul that is happy to exploit kids' parents for their credit card information? I mean, I don't know. Is it gonna be the Jake Paul that has porn stars on the front page of his website? Is it gonna be the Jake Paul that has nip slips in the first part of his video, which is not age gated, even though he admits that it definitely should be a video that's rated R, but only says that after pantomiming this? And frankly, I'm shocked that this stuff still is going on. You can't you can't do this. Well, actually, this is living proof that you can do it, but maybe I should say you shouldn't do this. What a disaster, dude. What a disaster. Oh, and his course sucks too.